Oh gosh.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Darin Marques, and I'm here with Natalee Simmons Farrimond. I want to make sure I get that right. Natalee's one of the newest agents on our team, and I've known Natalee for quite a while. Anyway, we like to do this little interview process with all of our agents, and I know Natalee was really excited about this morning. I mean, she just could not wait to get here this morning. She's been sitting in this spot for literally an hour. So.
Oh gosh. All right.
So anyway, the reason for this is just we like to give you guys a little bit of background and to realize that the agents are more than just business, right? We like to talk personal as well. And so we're going to go into that today. And so Natalee, first of all, just give us a little background on yourself. I know that I know a little bit about you personally, and I knew that you grew up here in Nevada, specifically Henderson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I'm second generation, born and raised in Henderson, and been here my whole life. I even went to school up in northern Nevada. So battle born and raised. Yeah. So,
and what high school was it you went to in Henderson?
I didn't go to high school in Henderson. I actually
that's right.
I went to Bishop Gorman, and I went to the original campus. But
down off of Maryland, back in the day.
Yeah, so awesome. That was about 22 years ago.
Yeah,
so
it's a really good area now.
Yes. Not.
So Natalee, tell us a little bit. So obviously I know your background. So you were in your main background is concierge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was a concierge for about just under 10 years, and but prior to that, I've always been in like the customer service realm, whether it was for like luxury shopping, like Nordstrom's, and then I also worked for Zappos, which is a huge customer service.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I learned something new today too.
Yeah, I worked for Zappos for a couple of years, and also prior to that, we owned a coffee house, a family coffee house in downtown Henderson. And I got to run my own business at right out of college. So
and you realized how much you loved.
I love working for myself. So, and then that's kind of segued into after working as a concierge for 10 years, segued into working for myself again in real estate, but also being part of a team is super important too. I think with
so real quick, I wanted to jump in on the concierge experience because that's one of the things I think is one of your greatest attributes is the fact that you've got that experience and you have it at a high level as well. What are some of the things that you learned in concierge, working in a top hotel on the Strip, that you still use today in real estate?
Well, I think the biggest thing is creating a connection. And actually, when it comes to concierge, I was a Les Clés concierge, which is a super elite level of concierge, which is super exciting. You have to go through a million hoops to get to that point. You have to be a professional concierge for at least 5 years before you can even apply for that. And then it's an international concierge association that I was a part of. And then I actually got to help and train other concierge become Les Clés as well. So what I learned from all of that is just really the luxury level of service from the hospitality side of things, planning trips and getting to know people and what really works for them and what they want when they're visiting, whether it's Las Vegas. And honestly, because I do travel quite a bit myself, it helps me elsewhere, when I travel. And then bringing that into luxury real estate has just made it that much better for my clients because no matter the price point, they're getting that luxury service because it's just kind of in my bones.
Yeah. And talk about, for somebody who doesn't understand concierge and what they do at a hotel, kind of give me it's really the person who's there to just kind of meet your needs, right? Like as far as if you want to go to dinner at a certain place and help give you that guidance when you're not familiar with an area.
Right. So basically, as a concierge, we are a free service to anyone who's staying at the hotel. You can come visit us and we would set up your dinner reservations, basically create your entire itinerary. Oftentimes I would work with guests about like months before they're even coming. So we would be on the phone. And then as the weeks kind of lead up to their trip, we would be locking in reservations, confirming everything. And if they're celebrating an anniversary, a lot of times I would work for the husband or the wife and be like secretly planning something romantic for their partner. And so it was really fun. We would set up rose petals, all kinds of fun stuff. So it was really
exciting.
You
even did that for my wife and I one time. We didn't even have, it was like, because I'm like the perfect husband and like the day of Valentine's. I had nothing planned yet because I like to wait till last minute. And Natalee reached out to me. She's like, I've already got you scheduled at Cosmo.
Yes.
You're going to go eat. Where was that? We were eating Mastro's?
Mastro's. Yeah, that's in St. Crystal's at City Center. Yes.
And it was a great dinner. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And then that's the way it's so great to build relationships with all the different vendors and people around because, and I think that's what also too carries over into real estate is having great relationships with vendors and everyone can help you be resourceful to get things done. And that's what it really became, I think, as a concierge is ultimately being the most resourceful to getting what's best in planning everything for our guests.
And that does really relate well, because that's what it really comes down to with real estate, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all know how to submit offers, not to do that stuff, but taking that service, that extra step, I think is really important. And then diving into your experience in Henderson, I hope you don't mind just sharing a little bit of background on your parents as well. Both of them were very involved with the city of Henderson.
Yes.
So you grew up, you really like kind of know the heart and all of the great aspects of Henderson, right?
Yeah. I mean, my parents were born and raised here as well. They're actually high school sweethearts from basic high school. And they, where we had our coffee house, actually, my dad used to ride his bike around that exact lot where he built the building. So
that's pretty cool.
And I've just been around construction pretty much my whole life. So kind of, it was a natural segue into real estate. But my mom and dad both work for the city of Henderson, and they're in the city's huge growth spurt when it really became what it is today.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always tell people, my cousin was a Henderson police officer, and when he started there I remember this, there was 43 police officers with the police department. Now there's probably close to 1,000, which is
pretty a lot.
Cool. Yeah, see how much the growth is.
Yes.
So it's interesting with you, because you're a native, and it's funny because most of the agents on the team are not native. So I usually ask them what got them to move to Las Vegas. Obviously, you're already here, but what are some of your things? Because I think, like myself, I grew up here as well, and so you always hear these negative things about Vegas sometimes, or living here, or families. It's funny, as I just heard this the other day, a family that was concerned about moving here because they didn't want their kids to become strippers and bartenders.
Right.
And so, because that's what we all do. So I think it's important to talk about the community outside of that. And I think that's where growing up here, it really gives you that insight to know that, like, look, you can grow up here and be, well, at least for myself, somewhat normal, not absolutely normal, but somewhat normal.
None of us are that normal.
Yeah, exactly. But what are some of your favorite things about living here in general?
I really just love the honestly, the family community outside of, everyone thinks of the Strip and come visiting here. So that's great. But that is really so far removed from what really goes on in the greater area of the Valley. Especially Henderson, you have so many parks, trails, amazing restaurants, and, really, it's a great place to raise a family. There's some amazing schools out in Henderson. I mean, some of the top rated schools in the country are there. And people don't really realize that. But honestly, it's just a really great community. And there's so many awesome master plan communities as well that offer so much more and lend to a lifestyle rather than just, living here.
Yeah. And one of the things we were talking about a little bit earlier is that one of the great things of living in Southern Nevada, Las Vegas, or Henderson is the convenience to other places, whether it's Phoenix or Southern California or whatever. So where are some of you, when you guys leave Las Vegas, because of course everybody comes here for vacation. So we leave and we go somewhere else. What's your favorite place to go?
Oh man. So especially in the summer, like none of us really love,
the 118.
We all want to get out of here because we live it, pretty much a lot of the
that's
year.
Our equivalent of the Midwest winter.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So we go out to Coronado, California. I've been going to Coronado and staying at the Del for, since I was a tween. So it's a very special place. It's also where I got engaged. It's where we have so many major family celebrations. And we celebrate my birthday there last year, all kinds of fun stuff. But Coronado, California is super important to us. And then also Duck Creek, Utah. So not too far towards Utah. We've had a cabin there for, 20 years. And so recently sold that, and now family's building a new one soon.
That's awesome. So
it's really a beautiful place to go and get into the mountains. So we have the mountain option really close by, or the beach.
And Duck Creek's what, a few hour drive away?
Oh gosh, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. So it's
depending on
it's like driving to, and that's the thing is, like, in either direction, whether you're going to Southern California or Arizona, it's all about 3.5, 4 hours, or if you're going to Southern California or Phoenix, obviously an hour flight.
Right.
Some of your favorite places. So one, what's your favorite things to do here in town?
Oh gosh,
Hobbies.
I'm a huge foodie, so I love going out to eat, going to hang out with my family, friends, and hitting up happy hours with my girlfriends. That's probably some of my favorite stuff, and also just being outdoors. Besides the summer, I mean, it's really beautiful the majority of the year, and so getting outdoors. And I personally live in West Henderson, in Sparta area, and the farmers markets are some of my favorite things. Whether I'm at the farmers market having a booth or enjoying it just as, someone who lives in the neighborhood. But I love all that. And hanging out in the district too is probably one of my favorites.
Favorite restaurant out there?
Oh gosh. Let's see here. I would probably say Hanks at Green
Hanks?
Valley Ranch.
Good spot.
Hanks for happy hour.
Yep.
And then
How about for food?
For food, I mean, I like their food too, but
They
I
got
would
great
probably
alcohol.
do. Oh gosh, I mean, you got to go old school classic Johnny Max for game day pizza and wings. If you really want to go original Henderson.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Well,
Thanks.
thank you. I'm
Thank
glad that everybody got to learn a little bit more about you today.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're looking for a great realtor in the Henderson area or any part of Las Vegas that can give you that concierge style service, reach out to Natalee. Natalee, give me your phone number.
702-338-3675.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.